Julia.
Good morning.
Morning. I thought you'd dressed and gone to work already.
No, actually, I'm gonna drop Samantha off at Mrs. Cobb's so I can go to work.
Well, you're sure getting an early start, aren't you? You weren't kidding about this being a killer job.
You know, if I knew that I was going to be acting as DA, I would have taken acting lessons. This is hard work.
You, want me to get you some coffee?
No, thanks.
Missed you when I woke up this morning.
I'm sorry. I was trying to be quiet when I took my shower because you were sleeping so peacefully.
That's too bad. I would have liked to have started the day off with, well, something other than a whimper.
I didn't hear any whimpering.
Lean close.
You know, you're gonna make me late for work. And I have to go.
All right, I'm resigned to it. What is this?
What?
The list of my family?
Caught me.
Caught you what? What are you going to do to them?
It's a guest list. It's... I was just thinking before, you know, a while ago. It's preliminary.
A guest list? Are we going to have a party or something?
A wedding, dingbat. I was hoping maybe someday we could have a wedding.
Heather.
I just want to let you know that Carla's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm real grateful about that.
Yeah, probably a little relieved, too, huh?
Yes, of course. But there is no excuse for why I let her run out of the clinic. I was so transfixed by my own personal problems that well, it's just been happening too often these days.
Michael, we all get involved in our own problems from time to time. There's no reason to blame yourself.
But I'm not doing my job. And my problems aren't supposed to be uppermost in my mind.
Maybe I can help you put them in the right perspective.
I don't think so.
Well, if I can't, then I'm not doing my job, Michael. I'm supposed to be pretty darn good at it. Why don't you try me?
A crisis of faith isn't something that psychiatry can heal.
Don't be too sure.
I'm just finding it harder and harder to be a good priest. I think I've reached the point where I don't belong in the church anymore.
Baby, it's okay. It's okay. Baby.
The rape case to date, huh?
Yes, sir, Mr. Capel. It's everything.
Good. Thank you. I think this is what we agreed to.
Yes.
I spoke to Lieutenant Boswell this morning. If after everything that man has done to my daughters, that madman, they still don't have anything on him, they haven't got one lead.
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you just keep getting copies of everything they have, and you'll get the same amount every time.
Taking a big risk bringing you this stuff. And why? When Castillo is already going over all the evidence.
Not that it's any of your business, young man. And it isn't. But my son-in-law may be a little too emotional about this. A little too close.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep doing what you're doing. Keep me informed if anything breaks. Thank you.
Okay. Whatever you say, Mr. Capel.
Yes, fine.
this kind of thing, Sisi. You're responsible for this, aren't you?
I hope so. What is it?
It's a subpoena. Asking me to turn over all my personal papers and all my financial records that I had with Keith. You know, it wasn't bad enough that you had Julia hound Keith till he had to leave town. Now you won't let her rest until she finds some way to persecute me. Is that it?
Go away, Gina. Go marry somebody. Leave me alone, will you, please?
I did marry someone, Sisi, and we were happy. That's what you couldn't stand. You're so jealous of someone finding some little bit of happiness. You know, you have no decency. No decency whatsoever, never mind the fact that you don't even have a heart.
How long is this harangue going to last? I've got a breakfast meeting.
And we're probably going to lose our home. Brandon and I will have to move out of our home. Don't you care about that?
Brandon has nothing to worry about. He always has a home here.
He doesn't want a home here. He wants to be with his mother. He needs me, but you've never cared about that either.
Gina, let me tell you something. Timmons is only slightly more guilty than you are, if that is even possible. If the courts weren't so slow, he would have been caught and punished a long time ago. That subpoena is nothing more than justice catching up with the two of you.
Now, Sisi, you can't use justice and sick it on people like your own private Doberman. Keith may be gone, but I'm still here, and I'm going to protect myself. I'm not going to let you roll all over me this time.
Wishful thinking, sweetheart. I wouldn't roll over you with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, that's it. Go ahead and make jokes. That's very funny, Sisi. We'll just see how funny this is in the end. Because I'm not going to take it. You have tried to intimidate me for the last time. I'm not going to take it lying down this time.
Well, that'll be a new experience for you.
Thank you for meeting me here, Your Excellency.
Well, it sounded extremely urgent.
I've come to a very hard decision. I can't continue in the church.
And what brought you to this decision?
I was tested yesterday. A girl needed my help. And I was so absorbed in all my personal problems that I've been telling you about that I failed her. I will not continue in this position of God's trust when I am unworthy of it.
I assume you've given this matter careful thought, and you've thought equally carefully about the future, about where you'll go if you leave the church.
No, I don't have any plans. I just know that I will not let violence be done to the Word of God because of my incompetence and my weakness.
And what about the work of God? Are you going to turn away from that as well?
Not if I can find some other way that I can serve in a position where I can't hurt people.
No, Michael. I will not accept this from you. As long as I have any authority over you, you'll continue to wear it. It symbolizes your consecration to the church and its teachings. You gave yourself to God both spiritually and physically, and I will not allow you to take yourself back quite so easily. Michael, you're too valuable to us, even if you don't realize it. Perhaps my job is to make you aware of just how valuable you are.
I don't mind living in sin. I was just hoping I could change my monogram.
Well, I don't want you to be stuck with the same old monogram either, but we don't want to rush things.
Honey, a lot of things may be said about us when we're dead and gone, but one thing that they will never say is that we rushed into marriage.
Well, yeah, but there's so much to be taken into account. Don't you think November is just a tad early?
That's the date you picked. Sweetheart, if you want to reset it, go ahead.
Well, it's not like it's Big Ben or anything. It won't hurt to turn it back a little.
Okay. When?
Oh, I don't know. How does, spring sound?
That's it. I'm out of here.
Julia, I'm just thinking of you. I mean, with your new job and all the details for the wedding, I just want to make sure you have enough time.
You're so considerate, honey. Love you. Gotta go.
Julia, will you listen to me a minute? I just want everything to be right. We haven't even decided, you know, where we're going to have the wedding.
Well, you know, what about the chapel?
Well, fine, but wouldn't someplace a little grander be nice? Like a sampan in Hong Kong Harbor, maybe? Houseboat on the Nile? Doesn't have to be in Santa Barbara.
No, shucks. I'm just a country girl.
Well, fine. You pick the country. As long as it's someplace that makes you happy and a wedding you can remember.
I'll always remember our wedding, even if it takes place on a street corner.
Yeah. After all, it's the act that counts.
Count this.
I'm warning you.
1,
You're about to unleash powerful
3,
forces, and if you've only got
4,
5 or 10 minutes...
5. Well, I can take a little longer. 6.
Are you sure?
7.
I mean,
8.
won't the courts start to overflow and criminals go unpunished? The legal system, as we know it, start to evaporate?
12.
By the time you get back to the office, we could be back to the law of the jungle.
Oh, I'll learn to practice there.
You're a magnificently irresponsible woman.
Ooh, well, thank you.
You know, they would call me if something were to break in the case. I don't really have to go in. I could take the day off. We could go sailing or something.
I'm fine.
What makes you think I'm thinking about you? I'd love to spend the day on a catamaran.
Well, actually, I'm having breakfast with my mother, so my morning is going to be pretty much taken up.
Oh. Oh, you're having breakfast? That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Well, you know, those 2 cops I assigned are still going to be following you, so you better warn her. She won't think strange guys are after you.
I'll tell her.
Well, great. Can I help you clear this up?
Yeah. No, I'll do it. You go ahead, and I'm going to get dressed and leave. So, I'll see you later.
All right.
Okay.
Just get my coat. You say hi to your mama for me.
I sure will.
More trouble than just a little piece of paper. We're in some serious trouble now.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Well, it's Mason. You see, Julia keeps talking about wedding cake 24 hours a day. You know what that means, don't you?
Not really.
Well, the more Mason hears about it, the more he wants to pop out. Pretty soon he's going to be out full time. That'll be the end of me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not really going to make much difference if I end up in jail. I mean, even if we do manage to make a dime out of this deal, we're not going to be able to spend it after that happens.
And it seems to me we both got a calf to rope, don't we? And I'm trying to tell you, Gina, that I cannot do anything about this subpoena. Now, would you please leave before I have to call security?
All right, Mason, fine. Thanks a lot. You've been absolutely no help at all, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to make you pay for this. You and your father both.
That woman is like a juggernaut. Everywhere I go, she's bearing down on me.
Yep, she's loaded for bear today. She's on you like a duck on a June bug.
You hanging out in a country western club lately?
Is there one?
You don't seem to have much appetite.
Oh. You know, I just wake up feeling tired. And I wonder if it's this emotional roller coaster I've been on. You don't think this is going to affect the baby, do you?
No, I don't. When I was pregnant with you, I was going on frantic business trips with СиСи. I had a small part in the movie. The pressure I was under was absolutely incredible. I don't think there was a day that went by that I didn't yell at someone. I was throwing things around my dressing room. This is all this emotional stress, and look what happened to you. It didn't affect you at all.
That's not true. I'm totally neurotic.
Oh, well then, please accept my apology.
Okay. Seriously, though. Mom, do you really think this could affect the baby? All the highs and lows that I've been going through.
When this baby's born, you're going to have to create a very calm, safe environment. And by then, you'll be able to.
I hope so.
You don't have anything to worry about.
What have you got?
There are no fingerprints left in the warehouse. No residue, no personal effects, nothing identifiable.
And what about all that video equipment? You couldn't get a trace on any of
It
that?
was stolen from a pawn shop in New York.
The same place you got the camera you put in my house?
What difference does it make? It's a dead end.
What?
What is significant is that he used Kelly's knife in the attempt this time instead of his own fishing knife. Come on, Cruz. We got a shift in the MO. Something's happening.
All right. I want the name and phone number of everyone you've spoken to in New York City about this case. I want a list of subscribers of the various high-tech video publications and a rundown of the local outlets that sell them over the counter. We're going to start sifting their regular customers.
Hold on. Am I going to get my gold watch doing this? Do you know how long that's going to take?
I suppose it depends on how good a job you do.
You know what I think?
No, why don't you tell me?
I think you're just a little too close to this thing to exercise good judgment in how time is to be spent.
You listen to me, Boswell. That man invited us into an inner sanctum, a place he's obviously spent a great deal of time, and he left exactly nothing for us to identify him with. You think he's gonna drop a calling card? He's not. If we sit around waiting for him to slip up, we may wait forever. On the other hand, if we do something, if we bear down around here, get our butts in gear for a change, maybe we can make something happen with this damn case.
Well, that could be easy to do if a prime piece of our evidence hadn't gotten shot up by some hothead.
Hi.
Hi.
It's, chilly in here. What happened?
I'm not doing a very good job. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to see how you're doing and how Eden is doing.
Things are tough for her right now. She's being brave. I don't know how to make it any easier. I can't make her lean on me. I've tried.
I'm so sorry you're going through this. I really am. And you know what? I don't know what you're doing here today.
She wanted to have breakfast with her mama. I waited for an invitation that was not forthcoming, you know. I mean, she's got cops with her. There's police guarding her at all times.
I wasn't so much talking about safety as I was about happiness. There's no point in you sticking around here fighting evidence that doesn't add up.
Yeah, you're probably right. I just keep thinking if I fight hard enough, it'll start to add up.
Do yourself a favor. Go home. Go be with Eden. Relax.
Thanks.
That's right. Well, maybe Timmons didn't run things that way, but this is a new administration. You're living through the Wainwright era right now, so need you learn to adapt? Paul, thank you.
So I finally find you. I just want to know what this means.
What is this, written in Chinese? Read my lips. Turn over all your financial records by this evening and appear here for formal questioning in 1 week.
It's not what I'm talking about. I talked to you a couple of days ago, and I told you how Brandon was going to feel if he had to see his father behind bars. Didn't any of that get through to you?
Will you stop with the violins, Gina? I liked it better when you had a monkey and an organ.
So you get a fancy job. It's only a temporary position, just a little bit of power, Julia. Do you think that means you can run roughshod over people? Well, I'll tell you what, you can't touch me, because I haven't done anything.
Good. Then innocence will be your shield. But anybody who is guilty of anything that has to do with this office or is even party of it will pay the maximum penalty provided by the law.
So if you can't get to Keith, you're going to find some way to persecute me. Is that it? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an attorney, and I'm going to fight you. Because you're not just coming after me, you're coming after my family. And I can fight just as dirty as you can, Julia.
Well, I guess this is where we say adios. I've got to go check on Carla.
Okay, Zach, I'll see you later.
Oh, by the way, have you talked to Scott?
No, not yet.
Well, I'm sure there's a logical explanation.
Zach, look, you don't have to stick up for him. I mean, if it had just happened once or twice, yeah, I think there was possibly a logical explanation for it, but not now that it's gone on like this. Guess it's time for me to realize that maybe Scott isn't the person that I thought he was.
Well, now, don't go off the deep end. At least have
the opportunity to talk with him and see him. I mean, you know what we need to do? We need to do something fun, like maybe break the routine by going to lunch.
There can only be so much fun involved with lunch, Zach.
Well, there you go, prejudging lunch. You know what? Why don't you let things speak for themselves?
Okay, Kelton. One lunch, that's it.
Oh, well, that gives me an hour and a half to come up with a great idea for lunch. See you at noon.
I don't see any way that I can continue as a priest and still deal with the feelings that I have to deal with.
Michael, you're struggling against a powerful temptation. A temptation represented by a loving and attractive woman. But that struggle isn't a sin in itself. In fact, it's to your credit that you continue to struggle.
But it's not getting easier. It's getting more difficult.
You're just tired from the battle. But you're not losing it, Michael, and I'll tell you why. You didn't come to me and say, you've decided to devote your life to your love for Julia Wainwright. What you said to me was that you wanted to find a more appropriate way to devote your life to God.
Yes, and I do, and I will find a more appropriate way.
But it seems to me that you've found the way. Oh, you're reeling under the burden of it. A heavy burden, I admit. Agonizingly heavy at times, I'm sure. But the honesty with which you came to me today proves to me that you're pure at heart. Michael, if you ever decide to take that collar off permanently, it's going to be because you decided this struggle is over, and you've made a choice, a positive choice, to go in another direction. But I don't think so. Now, have you contacted Carla's parents?
Yes, her father's as brutal as she says he was.
And he won't take her back?
No. I contacted a Catholic girls' home, St. Cecilia's, and they said they'd take her in, but I don't know if she'll accept that.
Well, where's St. Cecilia's?
It's up the coast a ways at Point Delgado.
Why don't you take her to St. Cecilia's yourself? It might give you a chance to see some good come out of this whole affair after all. And you might just find that very encouraging.
I think you'll like it there, though. You got rolling hills and open spaces. You can see the ocean from the church bell tower.
Is it far from here?
A couple of hours. I could drive you up there myself as soon as you feel a little better. I am sorry about your father.
It doesn't matter. I never expected anything else from him.
Well, some people just haven't learned to forgive yet.
Do you think that God will be able to forgive me, Father Michael?
Of course he will. God's love is unconditional. But you'll need to go to confession and do penance. And the next thing is you're going to have to forgive yourself. Now, if you ask yourself what it is that you need to do to accomplish that, you'll come up with an answer. Maybe it'll be helping another girl in a similar situation and sparing her the pain that you went through. All I can say is that when you see it, you'll know what you have to do. And it may help you to know that you're not the only person who is looking for forgiveness.
You, Father?
Me too.
Why?
Among other things, because I wasn't there for you when you needed me.
But I was the one who wouldn't listen to you. I was the one who ran away.
But I let you go. And I should have gone running after you. If we'd gone for a walk, if we'd just taken a little bit more time, things might have turned out differently.
I want to talk to you about that takeover. You know, I got a call from the CEO of the company that we took over, and he says you didn't make one suggestion, and you just sat there and agreed with everything he proposed.
Yeah, well, I can explain that.
No, you don't have to explain it. I mean, it's perfectly obvious. The right way to play it. Make it seem like a marriage between equals. Make them feel like there's a lot of goodwill there. I mean, it is a takeover. Doesn't have to seem like a hostile takeover. It could be like a perfect union. Hey, you did a great job anyway. Anyway, what do you think? What do you predict about everything?
Divorce?
Divorce? Oh, you're using one of my marriage metaphors. It's divest is the word you divest. Right. That's not a bad idea. It's a perfect way to go. You've done a great job. I hope you're as proud of you as I am.
Thanks, Dad.
Can't tell you how happy I am that you're back with us.
Damn thing I touch turns to gold. By the time I get married, Mason will be the one who spends it.
I cannot believe that you took off work to go and buy this.
What, you don't like it?
Well, no, I love it. It's just, I mean, we don't even have a nursery yet.
Well, maybe it's time we had one, you know?
Maybe you're right. Well, they tell you should wait. You know, till you're closer to the due date.
Sometimes I think we wait too much. Wait for the case to break. We wait to feel safe again. Wait, you know? Lately, I feel like I'm thinking myself to death. Don't you think? No, seriously. I saw this in the window, and I thought, Cruz, really, a bear like this just doesn't come around too often.
You're right. I don't think I could have resisted, and I think that our child will have this bear probably as long as there's only one ear and one eye, and probably no stuffing left like I had mine.
Really? Where did you stash it?
In the attic at my father's. Why?
I gotta find this bear. Does it have a name?
Mm-hmm.
And what might that name be?
I refuse to answer on the ground that it will incriminate and humiliate me beyond words.
Darling, I'm your husband. It's my job, you know? What's its name?
Horse.
Horse? A bear named Horse?
Horace.
Oh, Horace.
Horace Underwear.
I don't suppose you want to explain.
Actually, it's pretty understandable. When I was very young, a friend of my father's, a business associate, gave me the bear, and I felt it was only appropriate that I should name it after him. And his name was Horace Underwood.
Oh.
I was just a little shaky with my pronunciation, I think.
Oh, that's great. I can hear you now. Horace Underwood. I guess I had to be there. I love you. A lot. And as much as I love you, I know it's not as much as our baby is going to love you.
I love you too, Cruz Castillo.
Hey, Gina. What's shaking?
Good morning, Mr. Tagliari.
Hey, come on. It's Bunny to my friends. Sit down. Have something to eat.
Oh, no, thank you, Miss Bunny. I'm meeting some friends.
Gina, park it. Have some coffee. I don't like eating alone.
You sure it's all right?
Here. Order something. Anything you want. Clams is good.
It's a little early for clams. I mean, at least for me it is. I'll just have some iced tea.
You look a little beat.
Well, it hasn't been a very good day so far.
Listen, you know what's good for that?
Good for what?
When you got the blues. Or maybe things aren't going so well. Go dancing. Me, I love dancing. Maybe I'll take you out for a little spin on the floor. Help chase away your troubles.
Dancing? Now? I think it's a little early for that, too.
Huh?
Besides, I need a more permanent solution for my problems. There's some people in here around this town that just have it in for me. It'll be okay.
Hey, listen. There's somebody whose absence you wouldn't miss. I can take care of that, too.
I would never dream of harming anybody. Well, just a thought. Nah, no, I mean, that would just make things worse.
Well, you keep it in mind.
May I ask you a question, Mr. Tagliati?
Nope. And if you keep calling me that...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, ask your question.
I was just wondering why you decided to rent all the rooms in the house.
I like to spread out. And I like my privacy.
Well, I mean, you could have rented a whole house alone and
Listen,
not had to
Jean.
worry about anything.
You're a very pretty lady. You want to stay that way, do not butt into my business. You and me, we got a very business-like arrangement. I paid you good money, right?
Yes, of course you did. It's just that I was just wondering, I mean, if you're involved in any underworld activities...
Hey, listen, what do I look like? I'm strictly a businessman.
Yeah, of course. I just hope it's not funny business. I mean, I do have a child to raise, and I want to set a good example for him.
Brandon? That kid's a born shark. Mac the pocket knife. You got nothing to worry about.
I'm not going to sit here if you're going to insult friends.
Listen, loosen up. I like the kid. And I like you. You two make a nice family. Me, I'm big on family. You see? We really got something in common.
Well, look who's here. Why didn't you tell me you were coming?
I came over to check up on Kelly.
How's she doing?
She's probably doing as well as can be expected. She's awfully tired.
So am I. I'm tired of the lack of progress the police are making.
They haven't come up with anything new.
No, they're on a treadmill, and the longer that man is out there, the more dangerous he gets.
Just hope they catch him before anything else happens or somebody else gets hurt.
Hope isn't good enough, Sophia. We've been hoping entirely too long. That's why I have decided to do something about it myself.
I was very impressed by the way you handled her. Made me better understand the choices that you've made.
Really?
Yes. And I'm even more honored to be your friend. Michael, as long as I'm here, I should tell you that Heather came by.
Yes, and Heather wasn't authorized to say any of the things she did. As a matter of fact, we had an argument about that.
I'm sorry that you did, because I think that she had a point. As much as you and I want to maintain our friendship, it just may end up being too costly.
Well, I think that it would be a lot more costly for us to give up on a friendship that's as valuable as what we share.
I don't want to cause you any more problems than I already have.
You're not going to. Now, tell me about your marriage. Have you firmed up your wedding plans, or?
Well, we're working on it. Mason said maybe November, the last 2 weeks.
I'd still like very much to be a part of it.
No, I'm not going to ask you to do that, especially with your hands full with the parish.
No, I want to, if you'll let me. I would very much like to be a part of a day that's going to be such an important day in your life.
Thank you. I'd be very grateful.
Well, then I'll keep the last 2 weeks in November free, and you'll let me know.
As soon as it's settled, and I know I'll tell you, and thank you again. Okay. More than I can say.
Look who's
Who's here?
Well, hello,
Cruz.
Cruz.
Hi, how are you? Hi. Good to see you. How are you? Hi. Did you have lunch here? We're gonna. We were thinking.
You know, I saw that report by that woman on TV, Lydia, what's her name?
Lydia Saunders.
Yeah, she said that the police really don't have that much to go on.
Well, Lydia Saunders does not speak for the department.
Yeah, but I mean, what she said really doesn't paint a portrait of your typical rapist. I mean, with the shrine and the video equipment. You know, I was wondering if maybe you had, contacted a forensic psychologist. You could put together a profile.
What, Zach, are you moonlighting as a cop or something? I mean, everybody wants to be a cop. I don't mean to be rude, but I can't talk to you about this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
Oh, well, easy come, easy go. I gotta get to the hospital.
Yeah, so much. I'm gonna come with you.
Oh, no, you don't have to. Stay here.
That's okay. It's a long walk back to the hospital.
All right.
So,
well, Eden,
you.
you've got an appointment with me next week?
Yes, I sure do.
Yeah,
I won't forget.
Bye-bye, Cruz.
Bye. See you later. Have a good one.
Do this again sometime.
Sorry about that. It seems like we just can't avoid the subject.
There's always going to be reminders. I don't think that either of us can relax until that guy is caught.
Hey. How you doing? I was going to call you in a little bit. How'd things go with the bishop?
Well, we had a good talk. Gave me a little bit more perspective on things.
Good. Good. You feeling better?
Well, in some ways.
Good.
How you feeling?
Feeling okay.
Yeah? Talk to Scott?
Not yet. I'm getting a little tired of wondering about it. Michael, I tried to call him the other morning at 2:30, and then the next morning at 4, and then again at 6. He's never in the room when I call him, and he never calls me back.
Doesn't sound like Scott.
I don't know, Michael. Maybe it does. You know, if he was just trying to make me jealous at first, maybe then I could have understood it. But now it's gone on for so long, and I don't know. Maybe it's time for me to step back and take a look at the whole picture.
Well, you're always telling me to look at the positive and negative aspects of a situation, balance them out. Maybe it's time you take your own advice.
Yeah. I think it probably is.
All right, Capwell. You stop hiding in there. You come out and face me like a man. We got a wedding to discuss and a few other things. Hey, you hear me? You're not talking, huh? All right. I'll just postpone that damn wedding until next July. See how you like it. Well, hi.
Hi.
How are things going?
Pretty good. I talked to Michael. I ran into him, and I told him that... Well, he said November was okay the last 2 weeks, and I said I'd let him know when we set the date.
Good. I guess we better, get right on it then.
Can't wait.
Me neither.
This is only the beginning. Once have copies of police reports, transcripts of interviews, photos of evidence, all gotten through official sources.
How did you manage this?
I have my own little network of people.
Oh, I don't believe this, and I don't like it.
Why? Don't you like it?
It's too risky, Cece. Now, I know how frustrated you are. But work with Cruz. Don't work against him. You'll only be getting in the way, and you might spoil something for the police.
How would I be doing that?
I don't know. Maybe you'll cause him to miss something. You know how good Cruz is at this sort of thing. I mean, if there's anything to be done to catch this person, he'll be doing it.
Maybe. But he has not done it. And maybe his emotions are getting in the way, but my daughters are suffering for it.
But they're not suffering for any mistake the Cruz has made, are they? See, there you go. I mean, this is it. This is what you do all the time.
What do I do all the time?
You take things in your own hands. You act for everybody else. Haven't you learned by now what happens? Everyone has to pay, and it's usually the people that you're trying to help most.
I may have made a mistake or two in the past. I was hoping you'd support me in this.
What do you want me to do?
Half of what we're supposed to do. I want us to conduct an investigation, our investigation.
I may not be able to talk you out of this, but I am not going to say one thing that will remotely suggest that I'm behind you. Because I'm not.
do you want to do this afternoon?
I don't know.
We could still get in a little time in a boat if you'd like.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you should go back to work, you know?
No, I don't think so. Why don't we take a ride up the coast and eat in a nice place or something?
Cruise?
Tonight, crack-addicted babies. Thousands are born every month and suffer greatly from their mother's habit. Part one of a Spotlight report on NBC Nightly News.